And we're live. Welcome, my friends. Today we are here with just me. Every time. Bear with me, folks. Alright. We are here today with just me. We do not have a guest on. We are knowing something else today. As you can see, I've got all the lights off over there. She's a bit dark, and we've got it all just on this side today. As it's just me, so I'm not going to have to do a lot of camera movement, which is great. And I can't see this being a long one. It's probably not going to be your normal hour-long podcast. So I'm just going to do a brief little talk here on my own, and I hope you all enjoy. Now I'm going to start with talking about the podcast itself. I guess I haven't really done much actual interaction with any sort of fan base. I'm just been doing videos and having good conversation with some of my close mates and interesting people. So the podcast is something that me and Colt have been wanting to start for a fair while. We fell in love with listening to podcasts a little while back. We found that they were something that we could listen to all the time, and it would put our mind at ease when we needed it to. We found that listening to music just isn't the same anymore. Music's great, I absolutely love it to bits, but it wasn't the same anymore, as we found that we can think over the top of it, but we can't think over the top of other people talking. So we found that was the best thing to do when we needed to get out of our own head, was to listen to someone else's, I guess. It gave us the inspiration to be here and do this today. So yeah, this has been a long time coming to do all this, and I'm really stoked that we're starting to really get into it, and I'm starting to get some really interesting people come on as well. I'm really thankful for everyone that's ever come on so far, and anyone that ever will be coming on, because without them it's just me. So I can only do this so many times. I do think that I'll probably do more in the future of podcasts just myself, but I'd like to capture good conversation for everyone to listen to. Apologies if I ever run into blank moments or kind of just fade out. I struggle to keep up with my own thoughts sometimes, and my brain gets overexcited, and when I try to speak those thoughts, they don't seem to form in a proper sentence quickly, or as quick as my mind would like them to. But yeah, I hope everyone's liking the podcast so far. I hope it's not just going to waste and everything. Yeah, I know a lot of people out there that'll be listening to this right now are all my mates, so hello. Yeah. So the podcast is just going to be interesting people and real good conversation. And when I say real good, I don't mean like, oh yeah, real good conversation. I mean real and good conversation. This is what I want to capture, as I've learnt that language is probably one of the best things that we've ever invented as a species, and everyone has such an amazing story to tell. If you just take the time to sit down and talk and listen with someone, then you can learn all sorts. There's so much interesting things to listen to and find out, and it's interesting. There's so much interesting people out there to listen to. I've had some amazing conversations with just day-to-day people in my work where I will never see again, but I've had so many conversations with them. I also believe that everyone's kind of here for a reason. Here on this planet, we will have a sort of purpose, not a purpose maybe laid out for us, but a purpose to be here, which we can create for ourselves, even if that makes sense. But I think that we all have something that we're here to do, regardless if it's pre-planned or has to be worked out to get to that point. But I believe that I'm here to help people. I have a passion for helping people. I can't can't not help people. It seems these days that anybody that comes into my life has come into my life because they need me. Which for whatever reason that is that happens, I'm thankful for, because I love helping people, and the fact that I'm able to do that, and the world, it seems to send people my direction when they need to be, or when I need them, or whatever it may be, and yeah, and I feel I can help a lot of people on the podcast. I've always been a really good listener. I was brought up in a broken home, split parents, and my mum needed someone there for her, and I ended up being that someone. And it was from that point forward that I wanted to be that someone for everybody. And yeah, I've thought many times about taking it on as a career and helping people. I've got a good grasp of how emotion works, how human emotion works, and basic thought patterns and stuff like that. So I've got a good understanding of how the human mind works in that aspect emotionally. But I don't believe I could do it for a job. It seems whatever I do as a job seems to become a daunting task to me one day. So I don't want that to happen to helping people. I would love to help people because I just want to help people, not because I want something out of it, per se. But yeah, I feel I can help a lot of people on the podcast. Podcasts have helped me, and I want to help people. And if I can help people by having them on the podcast and talking to them through what they need, then that's awesome. And if I can help people by then just people listening to this when they need it, then that's even better. So that's kind of my goal with the channel. As you'll hear, there's a lot of conflicting opinions that will come across on this channel, where we see society from a very far step back. I'm not saying that we have stepped back from society, but we can view it from the outside perspective and kind of see how society works. And so there's going to be a lot of conflicting opinions about a lot of things on here, but I'm not here to argue any points with anybody. I'm just here for good conversation, and good conversation so far has been had. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. So far I feel I am helping the people that need it. Having Colt and Aaron on consistently has been great. I love those guys. I absolutely love you two. You two are amazing, and it's been good for me having you guys here, and I hope it's been good for you having you guys here and a part of this. And same goes for Kerry that's been on, and everyone else that wants to come on so far. So yeah, so that's kind of why I'm here, why I'm doing this. It's definitely not a hard task. I work a normal full week job and do this in my spare time after work normally. Me and Colt are trying to aim to get 2 uploads a week on a Monday night and a Wednesday night. New Zealand time that is, so honestly I haven't converted the times ever, so wherever you are, work it out. Monday evening in New Zealand is when they'll go up, and same with Wednesday. It's all I'll get in a little bit on how I've got it all set up and how it works. I've done YouTube in the past quite a few times and ended up either not going anywhere with it or life got in the way. So I stopped. And this time I decided that I wanted to make it as easy as I possibly could for myself. So I'm not editing any of my videos. All my videos are recorded live. Well, edited live, I guess. So they're just pretty much purely uploaded an hour after they're recorded. So you guys are pretty much hearing us live. We plan on doing scenic podcasts, and we plan on doing live ones in the future for special occasions. So yeah, that's the podcast. Welcome to this whole realm of the unknown something else. Hope you stick around. Check out our socials. We have socials now. We're on Instagram at the unknown something else, and we're on TikTok now, also at the unknown something else. Go check us out. I'm posting up clips from the podcasts on those two sites. So if you don't want to listen to the whole hours long podcast, then we will have 20-30 second clips up on there consistently. And I think that pretty much wraps up why I'm decided to do this and why I'm here. So yeah, thank you all again for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate it. I'm glad to know that there's people out there that want to listen. And to all my mates out there, I love you all. Of course, you know that. Yeah. All right, now I might get into something a little bit of a deeper topic, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see if I can bring something up. Sorry guys, I'm really running out of things to say here. This was unplanned completely. Colt was coming today, but he been busy and got caught up, so he's not on today, but that's okay. Well, I might just talk about some things I've learned in the past, and just right, we're only 12 minutes in. Sorry guys, I just realised that this is going to be a fairly short one. It's probably only going to be about a 30-minute podcast. Alright, well, let me start spieling then. So, over the past 3 years, my life has changed completely. I'm a completely different person than I was 3 years ago. First off, I've come out in that time I've come out as trans. I'm transgender and currently transitioning from male to female. So yeah, that's why my name's Violet. That's why I sometimes look a bit prettier than the rest of the boys. And yeah. But so that's happened, and I've also had a change in my mind completely. I see the world in a completely different way now. And yeah, I think I might just share what I've kind of learnt in that time. Might go back a little bit more. I grew up out in the nature. I grew up in the bush. Not obviously literally, to an extent. I grew up in a nice 4-bedroom house that was in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by bush. Spent a lot of time out there alone, and spent a lot of time just pondering the world and questioning things as a kid, and working out whatever I could, and if I couldn't, I carried on. Growing older, of course, that kind of got more and more. I just wanted to question the world. I wanted to learn everything I could. Going through school, I didn't want to learn at all. I did not have that mindset whatsoever, but coming out of school, it's now been a good handful of years, and now I want to learn. So I'm learning it on my own, and with my mates, and with some knowledgeable people and interesting people. But I used to see the world quite differently before I realised that you could step back and view society from the outside. It was just normal, and I never thought twice about it up until the past 3 years. And once I kind of got that self-awareness away from normal society, everything kind of changed. And it's since been a process of following the good in that change and not following the bad in that change, because there's always good with the bad and there's always bad with the good, but it's learning to find the one you want to follow or should follow and following that one. Oh my god, I just got off track. I'm so sorry. Apologies, people. What was I saying? Good and bad in... Oh, when I learned about the looking for at society from the outside. So, something small. We'll start off something small. Road rage. Start off with that. I used to drive 110% everywhere I went, and I used to get road rage really, really bad. I used to get so fucked off at the smallest of things. Someone pulled out and made me slow down a bit, I got annoyed. You know, I used to get really, really annoyed at that sort of crap. And looking back now, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that I was like that. You know, because there's no need. There's no need at all. The only reason I ever got worked up, the only reason I can think of that I ever got worked up over such a minor thing happening on the road, is because everyone else did. It's the only logical reason I could come to in my head. Like, I don't. There's no actual reason why I would get so fucked off at something so minor happening. Someone cutting me off for not indicating when they merged lane and shit like that. You know, I get real irate, and I really don't know why. So there's things like that I was awoken to, and now I realise that there is no need to drive 110% everywhere. I obey the speed limit majority of the time, as much as I can, because I've got no need to go any faster. I've got no need to break the rules on the road. If someone does something stupid, I just look at them and go, mate, you're an idiot, but geez, and just carry on. You know, me getting mad at that person, all it's doing is causing anger and stress to come upon me that I don't need. You know, I'm not gonna get anything out of it. I'm not gonna get I'm gonna feel some sense of alpha maleness that I'm the tough guy of a situation because I'm the one that got mad. There's no point. There is really no point, you know, and it's shit like that I see every day. I still see it. I saw it today. I saw a guy that was going round a roundabout, and someone came flying round and tried to come through, and technically that guy would have had to have given way to that person if they were at the roundabout, but because they came around the corner to go to the roundabout so quickly, they kind of came out of nowhere, and then they got pissed off at the guy that was really just doing nothing. He was just driving. And I was looking at that like, first off, you don't need to be going that fast, and second off, you put that situation on him, and then you got mad at him. Like, you just made yourself feel angry and fucked off and annoyed, and you're stressed, and all of that shit you chose to feel. For what? Why? It seemed like a waste. Not so much a waste, it seems almost like a burden. You're putting extra stress and anger and shit on yourself. You don't have to do that. Like, and you can do that with everything. It can be like that with nearly everything. Like 90% of anger, the disappointment, stress, all that stuff you choose to feel. You choose to feel those emotions. Yes, there is natural chemicals inside of you that cause those emotions to come on. You can get to the point where you can feel them coming on well before they do, and pull yourself out of that before they do. You can do that. I wouldn't recommend doing that with absolutely everything and never feeling angry or never feeling stressed, or because we do have to do that to keep like a well-balanced emotional diet. But you can do it, and do it where it's necessary. Pick your battles. Something that someone told me a long time ago, and I'll never forget it, and it was pick your battles. And you can apply that to a lot of things in life. You know, with road rage, you can pick your battles. There's definitely a time and place to get mad at someone on the road, and it's generally not a good idea to do it. There's no need to fucking do it when there's something so small. Like, if someone's actually being a dumbass on the road and threatening people's lives with their driving capability, yeah, sure, maybe like be skeptical of him, and maybe it's fair enough to get a bit angry at that guy. But in minor occasions, no, you don't need to. You don't need to. You can drive calm. You can do things calmly. It's all comes down to you, because it's a choice. You can choose when you want to. Pick your battles. Life becomes a bit more easier when you can do that, because you're not as stressed or as angry as need be. So that was like one of the big things I realized over the past 3 years as well, which is that you can do that. And it is a good tool to use, and it's quite fun to play around with if you do it right. But like I say, you don't do it all for everything. Don't try and completely take control over anger and stress and disappointment, and because if you stop that completely, you're not being human. Emotions are what make us human. So you don't want to control it all, but pick your battles. The other things that I learned, which is ones that I brought up on the podcast previously, appreciate the little things. Appreciate the little things as often as you can, because the more you appreciate the little things, the more the not so smaller, like the slightly more exciting things start to feel a lot bigger again. Be grateful for everything, because it makes you feel better on the inside. Stops you from seeing there's much bad when you can see more good, because you're looking at the small things. So that's definitely something to practice, I believe. It's something that's helped me. Yeah. Get to know your brain. Get to know how your emotions work. Get to know yourself. Because if you can do that, then you can live a bit easier. A bit easier. Makes it all that much better. Spend the time. It's definitely well worth it. I spend a lot of time on my own head, and sometimes it's not a very nice place to be, but sometimes it can be the best place to be if you do it right. I'm now focusing on like my physical body, something I've never ever focused on in my life. I've just started getting into doing exercises and getting into doing yoga, really basic stuff, but I have been getting into it, and that's been helping me mentally as well. Everyone says it, and I kind of never thought twice about it, but now I realise that that's helping as well. It's making me feel better about myself. It's making me feel like I'm achieving something. It's making me feel like I'm motivating myself again. And there's something that's just about it when you finish an exercise and then stretch out your muscles, and then once you get to relax afterwards, if that's what I do, and just relax for a little bit. It feels good. It really does. And I want to start eating better too. Actually getting into a proper good diet. I do have my own diet plan laid out to help with what I want to achieve. And yeah. If you can look after your body as well, if you can feed your body the things it needs, and look after it the way it needs to be looked after, that also helps with your mental state. It also helps your brain. It helps your thoughts. People think that we have control over our thoughts, and that we're always, when we're thinking bad things, we're just messed up because we're always bringing up bad things in our head. Why are we thinking this? But we're thinking it because we're not well. We're not okay. We're not okay physically. We're not okay mentally. It's all one. We're all one. If you look after yourself, you'll start thinking better, because your body will start reacting to the better nutrients and it being looked after more. I would love to explain the full science behind it, but I couldn't. But I know it works, because it works for me anyway. So yeah. a big world out there, and we're such a little thing on it, but our head seems bigger than the rest of it, and it's very dark, and it's not an easy thing to get through life, I've discovered, and I don't believe there's any way to get through it on your own. So make sure that you have someone you can talk to. Just have a conversation with them. Get everything out. Get rid of stigmas. Just drop stigmas for a minute. Just let out whatever you want. Say whatever you want, because just get it out. Who cares? Because it's gonna help. The idea that you can't say a certain thing because it's weird, hateful and racist things you shouldn't say. That's fair. But the fact that certain minority groups can't say certain things because it just wouldn't sound right or be right or anything, that I don't see why that matters either. I don't know why these stigmas exist. I guess that's part of what I've learnt going through my transition from male to female, is that I see now that none of it really matters. Like looks don't matter. What we do to our physical body really doesn't matter. I don't see why it should. And the fact that things like gender stereotypes is just it's all a social construct. We all made it ourselves. We all came up with it ourselves. Humans, where men do this, women do that, men look like this, women look like that. We all come up with it for ourselves, and now it's just become the new norm. And now that we're realizing that there's people like me out there that were born in the wrong body or born the wrong way, it's now made it 10 times more difficult to do anything about it, because I can feel like me and I can make myself look like me, or be happy with how I look. But it's so hard to do that and then just go uptown, because if 2 out of 3 people that I pass will look at me in a very weird way because they're confused, and that bugs them, but it really shouldn't, because they don't know me, I don't know them, just a fellow human being walking past politely, probably with a smile on my face. Why should it matter? And it's those stigmas that I believe the world needs to let go of, needs to realise that they shouldn't. Who cares? Well, yeah, those are just some of the things that I've learned over the past 3 years. Sorry for going off on a ramble, and sorry if anyone disagrees with what I have to say. Like I say, I'm not here for an argument. I just like good conversation. This is my own findings and me being me. And yeah. So yeah, welcome to the Unknown Something Else podcast. Please stick around. Sorry this was a short one today, guys. What are we at? Just about to hit 30 minutes. I'm fine with that. That's okay with me. Hare Krishna. Look after yourselves. Look after your heads. Look after your minds. Look after your souls. Look after your bodies. And I promise I'll do the same in return. To my 13 subscribers out there, I do this for you, man. And yeah. To everyone that's been on, thank you. To everyone that's contributed something to the setup, thank you. To everyone that's even just contributed ideas, thank you. Thanks, Aaron, for the new tapestry. It's fucking sick. And yeah, we'll catch you all next week. Might have another weekend one, depending if anyone I know is around. If not, you'll see me and Colt here again on Monday. Go check out our socials, Instagram and TikTok at The Unknown Something Else. And don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Alright, love you all. Catch y'all next time.